tell you something, guys. There's something about, say, life insurance. Anytime, even as an agent, when you have a life insurance claim, it's always a really, really sad time. Because I mean, with life insurance, the claims are only in the event of three things. Okay, one, in the event of death, in the event of a critical illness diagnosis, or in the event of an accident that has led to permanent total disability. So like always very, very tough times, you know, where now you need to step up as the agent and really be there for the family. My very first claim in this business, I really didn't see that coming, okay? It started out as a critical illness diagnosis claim, and just a few months later, my client, you know, succumbed to the illness. So it was like a critical illness claim, then shortly after, now the death claim. And I really remember sitting with a young widow when she came now, after we had done all the paperwork, submitted to the insurance company, and they had now issued what we call a discharge voucher. So discharge voucher is where now the insurance company pretty much breaks down and says, hey, this is the sum assured on this plan. This is how much we will pay, the payout that we will make out to you. Then please give us your bank details here. And if you're in agreement with everything on this document, sign down here to now allow us to make the payment. I was in the office with my spouse, my hubby, because I run the agency with my hubby, the insurance guy. Hey, Joe, hey. Now the young widow came now to do her paperwork and sign the discharge voucher. I had already pre-filled everything, you know, with her bank details, with any information that needed to be filled there. So it was just awaiting a signature. That was probably the hardest sort of like quote unquote like sessions I have ever had in this business. And of course, it had been months of, you know, just pure sadness. We had lost a great gentleman. But during that one time, you know, when you see this girl, you know, just seated next to you and you're holding her hand, and guys, she cries for like 30 minutes non-stop. And you see, the thing is, you know, in the run up to, you know, that point of finalizing on the claims, because we had been working really closely together, you know, just piecing together our claim documents and so on. She was like the embodiment of strength, you know, someone like who just had put on such a brave face throughout that entire process. And at that point, when she realized like the whole process was done, and now there sat the paper where she was supposed to sign, and at one point she really cried and voiced it out and said, I wish you would take back this paper if you can bring me back my person, like the name of the husband, you know, like if you can bring back Nani to me, just keep this money. And of course, you know, at that point, it's one of those moments of, you know, if you've ever lost a loved one and someone who's like really close to you, there's something about death. Like death has so much finality. Like if it happens, it's like just pure darkness, like nothing, like it's just over. You get, I'm just sitting there with her, and eventually, as she was now starting to calm down and she was gathering herself and getting the courage to sign up the discharge voucher, she really said the words, this was a product of love. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't think I have ever looked at life insurance again from that day. You look at a lady who was, but then, you know, that those people who are well married and loved, and you can tell they're in very fulfilling marriages, but to be poor. And she just fell in that category. She was loved properly. You get, and just life throws a curveball, something that you did not see coming your way, you know, and this amazing man is gone, you know, but the actions that he had taken to ensure that, you know, his family, in the event that any of these things were to happen, like his family is taken care of. Guys, acheni niwaambie, insurance is love in action. Honestly, I am a huge consumer of insurance because, hey, me for my people, for the people I love, for my Joe, you know, for my Toto Bima, when that time comes, at whichever point it comes, I just believe that I will never leave my people stranded. I know there's some there's some things, like maybe the absence that really comes with that, like you're no longer there physically. That is something that the family really has to work around, because they miss you dearly. But at least, hata kama wamefinyika, say, emotionally, psychologically, hawafinyiki kihela. You get? So for me, as we celebrate, Lovers Month, as we celebrate Valentine's Day, this 2025, my message is insurance is love in action. And I was asking myself, maybe what are some of the ways that we can actually embrace insurance and bring it to this conversation, you get, of, love. And I was thinking, hey, for those of us maybe who have, aging parents, and probably our parents are also at a point where, they, at this point, they need more specialized kind of treatment. You want your mom or your dad to have access maybe to specialists, to proper healthcare. Buying that medical insurance policy, does it sound like a way of literally also showing your love to your loved ones, to your mom? Okay, so maybe that could be one of the ways that you show your love this year to your loved ones. It could be purchasing that medical insurance policy for them. I mean, if you are maybe approaching retirement and you have this pension benefit and you're looking to purchase an annuity, okay, instead of purchasing a single life annuity, how about you consider adding your spouse to your annuity and you buy what you call a joint life annuity? Think about it. In your golden years, what better way of telling, your partner that, what, come what may, whether niko hapa ama sipo, bado I will ensure there's an income coming to you every single month. I mean, isn't that a way of showing our love in action? Purchasing a joint life annuity and adding your spouse, whether they have a pension or not, adding them to your annuity. Okay? So still living up to insurance is love in action. For breadwinners, for the ladies out there, embracing life insurance and saying, what, for my kids, for the people whom I really love, it could be my kids, my partner, my aging parents, for the people who actually depend on me financially, okay? I want to ensure that, God forbid, even in my absence, I will ensure that my people are sorted, I mean, when you are taking up, say, something like a permanent life policy, like a whole life cover, and you're building an inheritance of 10s, 20s, 30 millions, and so on, isn't that actually love in action? Most of us, it almost feels like tulianza kwa basement. Or like we had to start from scratch. And some of us maybe started on the ground. Then there were those of us who are somewhere underground. We've had to fight our way to where we are to date. But think about it, if you're parting with that 5K or 10K, is that a way of actually showing your love to your children by building generational wealth for them? But how about we even sweeten the gifting even better? How about we actually go ahead and ensure that we are also embracing insurance and products that really show love to our loved ones? That's it from my desk as Mama Bima. My name is Mama Bima Kenya, a registered and licensed insurance agent in the 254 and also a passionate insurance educator. Always grateful for your time. Remember the word of the day or the statement of the day: insurance is love in action. So until next time, ensure that you embrace and you stay insured.